Have you found that if you take a sleeping pill, you feel miserable the day after? You feel exhausted, dysfunctional, shaken with anxiety, nauseous, even if you sleep? If so, this is for you. Because in today's episode, we are going to talk about a rarely mentioned effect of sleeping pills, which we call the emotional hangover. So yes, welcome to this episode where we're going to talk about the emotional hangover. And again, I think it will be really helpful for you, particularly if you feel conflicted. You feel like there's really no good option for you. If you take a sleeping pill, you sleep, but then you feel miserable. If you don't take a sleeping pill, you don't sleep and feel miserable. That's a tricky situation. So again, I hope this can be really, really helpful and valuable for you. So what we're going to talk about in today's class are these three topics. What is the emotional hangover? We're going to talk about why it matters and what to do if you recognized yourself in this situation. So without further ado, let's jump right in and talk about what it is. So what is the emotional hangover? The way we're going to answer this is actually a way that may be familiar to you if you tune into our teaching around emotional fatigue. But, without saying more, I'll just say that we're going to use the same type of thought experiment. So imagine this. Imagine that we take a random person, somebody we just grab off the street, and we ask them to participate in kind of a study. So we give them a sleeping pill. Let's say we give them something that is considered strong, like we give them Seroquel or like Xanax or is it benzodiazepine, like temazepam or something like that. And we then ask them the following day how they feel. Okay. So that's our experiment. What we're going to learn from is what they'll say and what they'll not say. So what this person in all likelihood will say is, I feel kind of foggy. It's hard for me to concentrate as I normally do. I feel kind of tired, something like that is very likely. And that simply shows us what we all know, that sedation can carry over into the following day. Sleeping pills are all really sedating to some degree, just like alcohol is, or like many substances are sedating. And those chemicals can still be in our body. They can still not be completely metabolized the following day, and then we can feel some of this sedation the following day. So that just shows that. But what is, I think, is more helpful to take note of is what this random person that we subjected to this experiment will not say. So this random person that we had taking some sleeping pill will not say the following day when we ask them how they feel. They will not say, I feel like my world is crumbling. It's ending. This is it. I feel completely exhausted to my core. I cannot put two thoughts together. I'm dysfunctional. I'm shaking. I'm scared. I'm anxious. I'm vomiting. I'm nauseous. I don't know what to do. And what this tells us? This tells us that yes, there is such a side effect as sedation the following day, but what truly matters is not that. There is something else going on. And what is it then that actually makes the big difference? It is how we think of ourselves having taken the sleeping pill. If we think that taking that sleeping pill means that we did something we shouldn't have done to ourselves, we're harming our own body, then we can feel guilty. We can feel like shame. We can feel like we're doing something that we shouldn't do to ourselves, and that brings that heavy feeling, the sadness, the hopelessness. Or we can feel like we're harming ourselves in a way that makes us, anxious about our health. And we can feel like, really jittery and nervous, and, like all the kind of anxiety, all the ways we can experience anxiety can be present the day after we take a sleeping pill. And again, not from the chemicals in the medication, but how we think of ourselves, how we treat ourselves after having taken a medication. That really is the big difference. So in other words, an emotional hangover is a difficult emotional state after taking sleeping pills that is unrelated to the expected side effects. And so with that said, we're going to talk about what matters, and this is probably already pretty clear, but I think it really helps to focus on this for a second. And already mentioned earlier, oftentimes this situation can lead to a cycle of kind of conflict and frustration and ongoing struggle, and is maintained by thinking that we don't have a choice that doesn't hurt us. We feel like we have a choice between either taking a sleeping pill and then feel miserable the day after because of what we think are the side effects of the medication, or versus not sleeping and feeling miserable because we didn't sleep, right? And neither of them is a good choice. So we can be in the situation where you're like, I'm doomed, I'm stuck, there's nothing I can do. No matter what I do, I will just feel miserable. And this is what it matters to understand the emotional hangover, and actually also understanding delegation. And you see, these are both very similar topics. So delegation is understanding that it was actually not the pill that made you sleep either. The pill is not responsible for sleep, and it's not responsible for the bulk of how we feel the following day when we have this emotional hangover. So then you might answer, so if I take a sleeping pill and then I sleep, doesn't that prove that it works? No, no medication can make us human sleep. It's physiologically, biologically impossible. But what can happen is we take a pill and then we think, okay, this will take care of sleep for me. And that's the magic. And we call it delegation. We have delegated the presumed work to the pill. So we're no longer trying to sleep. We are effortless. And that leads to sleep. And similarly, it's not the chemicals that make us feel really, really in a difficult spot, but it's how we think about them. When we think like, I did something that was wrong, something I should have done. Why can't I get this by myself? Why can't I sleep by myself? What's wrong with me? That leads to that emotional hangover. So now when we understand that the pill is not what matters for sleep and not for how we feel the next day, we arrive where we want to be, which is a place of low stakes. Low stakes is so, so very helpful. The opposite, high stakes, is when you think like, this pill can make me sleep, but this pill can also make me feel miserable. So we feel like the stakes are high. Should I take it? Should I not take it? What am I going to do? That's high stakes. But we see that the chemicals in the pill is actually not what matters. We're in a place of low stakes. Low stakes, that leads to peaceful sleep and peace of mind. So this is really, really why it matters. Now, finally here, if you recognize yourself in this emotional hangover teaching, the question is what to do. And actually, like so many other times, I just want to say that you already have. You have already have, you have the courage to learn, to look within, to kind of contextualize these teachings. I'm assuming that you're going to do that, right? But that is it. Like once you have this understanding that I presented here, then it leads to that low stakes, and then things just get easier and easier. So you really already have done that learning that is so, so helpful. And with that being said, thank you for being here. And if you have any questions about this, post it in the comment section, and look forward to seeing you real soon again. Bye for now.
Hi there, it's me, Coach Daniel. I hope you found a lot of value in the video you just watched. If you're looking for a bit more personalized support on your insomnia recovery journey, then head over to thesleepcrystal.com. I think it is the #1 resource for insomnia sufferers worldwide. There you will find free programs as well as paid programs with certified sleep coaches. You can join a community of people who understand what you're going through because they've gone through it themselves, or they are on this journey of leading the struggle and arriving where they want to be, just like you, that place of peaceful sleep and peace of mind. So again, I hope the video that you just saw brought a lot of value to you. And if you're looking for a bit more personalized support on your journey, then head over to thesleepcoachschool.com. And if you decide to join, we look forward to seeing you on the other side.